Actually, we were just about to leave. We wanted to do just a little tour, and then we saw those two girls and running into each other, and I actually thought they were kind of crazy. But what I realized shortly after that there was something going on, and so just fantastic performance. It's just these kind of things that you don't see every day.
Thought it was quite good, and I was surprised at how just stopping and staring made everybody within minutes react and stop what they were doing and start watching the performance. So,
Yeah, we were hanging out in the park, enjoying the beautiful weather. Now it changed, and suddenly they were like crying and running around, and then we wondered, oh, what's going on? And we realized there are many people in this performance, and it was really interesting to see New York like that.
What I found curious about the men that were involved was the fact that they ranged from very young kids, scrambling around for money, to maybe college age or just out of college age. And what that said to me was that whilst a lot of us think of, dirty old men as literally being older, in fact, our society, unfortunately, does send out so many signals, starting at a very, very young age, that sort of perpetuate all the stereotypes about the abuse of women and allow things like trafficking to go on, which are just, such horrible things that happen to women. So I kind of like the introduction of that younger age.
The Culture Project approached Kala to direct, to kind of create this piece in response to human trafficking, and we decided to kind of focus it more into sex trafficking. The piece was originally going to be at the UN, but due to some booking issues and everything, we just had to change it up last minute last week and moved it to a different public space. So we chose Washington Square Park, which I think worked out really well.
Yeah, I think that as Lauren said, the Culture Project was organizing this conference at the UN, and that got shut down because of a double booking. But that's how it originally got started, and as a lot of people know, the Culture Project is sort of this really interesting organization that blends social activism and cultural issues with cultural events and performance. And so this was commissioned as sort of an artistic component to a more extended discussion about the issue. I think when we were thinking about what we could possibly do, it started maybe we could do a very technical piece of performance.
We originally thought we might have drummers.
Yeah,
and
a
big
little bit more traditional.
Yeah.
But I think that like that idea of something happening under our noses, not knowing when it's begun or when it's ended, or that it's happening at all,
or who's involved.
Right.
The fact that so much of the human trafficking world is done underground,
right?
And right in front of people's eyes. So
invisible forces in play, and I've always been interested in the impact of a flash mob, and I think that I've seen flash mobs done in the context of like sort of humorous, improvisational manners that are really interesting, but I think that there's something really compelling about the form of that sort of performance that can speak to like a larger, more important issue and make people aware, like bring awareness to something in a different way than just a sheer performance or a protest. Like it's sort of blending the two. And I think that, as Laura was saying, what she was saying before was that this ended up being a little bit more ambiguous as to what it was about, because there was no text involved, and it was never.
And there was no information. Like when we were at the UN, we were planning to have kind of like pamphlets or kind of like an Ask Me person that like people could be like, what is this about? And you know, why are you guys here? But I think for today, I almost liked that people didn't know necessarily what was going on, because I think that's a huge, like I said before, this is a huge part of this issue.
Right.
Is that it's happening, and you know, people don't really know that it's happening, but it's kind of talked about. It's hush hush. And
Right.
I don't know. It made sense. It made sense for me. But I think one thing that was interesting is that everyone, as I was walking around through the crowd as it was happening, everyone had something different to say. You know, people, what's happening? Is this a theater class, or is this you know, oh, are they in a fight? Oh, why is she hurt? You know, not, you know, there's so much speculation on what was going on, like murmuring in the crowd. So there was definitely, I felt like there was an impact in the park.
Yeah.